All right, well, welcome to your practice and welcome to your mat, welcome to your space, welcome to my space. And yes, thank you. Good. So let's start like that. Let's just bring the hands together at the heart and lengthen yourself. And as you exhale, bow your chin. Just taking your heart space back slightly, your chin in slightly. And releasing your breath, your eyes, your shoulders. And taking this time in your quiet to feel yourself on your mat. The beginning of your yoga practice. And to feeling this as, great honoring for the self, mind, body, breath, spirit. The word yoga means to yoke, to join together, to unite. And feel here with your hands together, your chin bowed as you bow to your own heart. As you place these hands with reverence in front of your heart. And the breath filling you from the inside of the heart. That this is sacred time for deep honoring, deep self-love, to feel, to acknowledge, and to simply be. Start to lengthen your breath. I'm going to take a fuller inhale. Maybe you pause at the top. And a release of your exhale. On your next inhale, press your sit bones into the earth. Grow tall right through the crown of your head. Exhale as you are. And we'll open practice and call ourselves home. Chant that sacred sound of Om together 3 times. Inhale. Bow your chin. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay. Well, we're going to start with chest opening. So I will have my blocks handy, but we'll start with the blanket first. It could also be your bolster if you prefer that. So, the old sausage roll. You take the blanket and I fold it into a third first, and then that way I get a little bit of a bigger sausage. And I'll put that down a third of the way from the mat. And then we'll lie down tops of the shoulders on the blanket roll. You can even support your head. You'll bend your knees, place your feet on the earth, and press the feet down and away. Lift your head so you roll over the blanket. And you can set your head down and the arms maybe go over top of the blanket. That's the number 1 position, but if that's no good for you, you might even rest your elbows on the blanket or, see what works. So you have this lift under your chest. And I'm going to cowboy surrender my arms because I can do that comfortably, backs of the hands to the floor. And then feel free to lift your hips again, kind of wiggle yourself, find that place where you feel that lift right at the back of the shoulder blades, heart lifted. And as you come in, if you feel like your head is kind of hanging off, and you need a blanket for underneath the head, then maybe you grab it with your feet or your hand, you can place that. Okay, so take this time to make yourself comfortable here, whatever that means, just so you feel the chest lifted. You can stretch your legs out once you're in it if you wish. And we'll just start here, nice and soft, just allowing whatever is being opened to receive that, to dropping into maybe a bit of discomfort at the very beginning here. Smile a little bit, let the face relax, and be with your breath. And with each passing breath, there's an opportunity to release a little more, to meet this prop, to release towards the floor. Okay, so we're here for about another 5 breaths. So however you can be here more deeply, invite that. Ganeshmi. Okay, before we release from the blanket, let's reach the arms up to the sky, palms facing each other, and just lift your arms up, let the shoulders kind of come up, and then pull the straight arms down so the shoulders press into the blanket. Maybe the heart space lifts a little bit more. And so you just do this, extending the arms, pulling them back. Feel how the body reacts, a little bit of cat-cow almost. And from here, I'm going to pull the arms down, plug the shoulders in, start to sweep the arms over the head, thumbs aim to the floor. I'm very close to the wall here, so my hands are actually going to hit the wall, which is just fine. I'm just going to push into the wall or reach your arms. If your legs are straight, start to press through your heels. Okay. And then release. Feet can bend. Arms can come wherever they need to, and we'll just roll over to one side. So you might even lift your hips, shift the hips over, roll yourself over to one side. Good. Oh, this feels really good too. I have the blanket roll underneath this side of the chest. I'm just going to enjoy this and just move a little bit front to back. Just take this little bit of massage here. Oh, we do to one side, we have to do the other. So I'll just roll over. Take the other side, same thing, just that blanket roll right underneath that, right under the underarm side of the chest, and just rolling yourself a little bit front to back. So okay, and then when you're ready, if you're digging that, then take your time. Otherwise, we'll come up and we'll just remove this sausage for this moment. Just bring yourself back onto your back. So we can just savor this bit of grounding, releasing right through the heart space. So just feeling, here you are. Okay, and if your legs are straight, just bend them again. And grab your sausage roll, lift your hips, and bring that little roll to just rest under the sacrum. So you have this little lift. The low back is just a little bit off the floor. Okay, and then once you have that, start to find a little bit of cat-cow. So you're just arching the back and pressing the low back to the floor. I still have a little support under my head. You might not need that, but if you feel you do, put that in. Good. You're just arching, pressing the back, mid-back, lower back to the floor, and then arching and lifting that up. Good. Okay, and then just come to rest. So let the low back fall, and we'll just come to this little baby windshield wiper. So the feet, they're moving a little bit. I'm dropping the knees side to side. They don't have to go all the way to the floor. Just moving your back, your hips. These slow, supported movements. Great, great, great self-love, right? You feel your back, your hips. I have my hands resting on my tummy, so they're just sliding side to side. Okay, and just coming back to your center, I'm going to bring the knees into the chest. So feel free to adjust where you are on your blanket. So when you bring the knees in, they feel like they're kind of falling in, and the tailbone is supported. Maybe you can grab your knees or the backs of your thighs. You might even just rest your arms on the floor and allow if the thighs are falling into your belly, nice here. Otherwise, adjust for yourself whatever you need, my friends. If this is very tight and crunchy, you can throw a blanket between your belly and your thighs, and that might help a little bit if they don't come all the way down. But if they do here, or a little bit of weight into the belly, just allow that to unfurl. Soften behind your heart, the shoulders, the jaw. Just allow the weight of the legs to do the work. The other thing you could do is even just pull the blanket up a little bit higher in the back, and then that might also help. So you kind of play with your props, figure out where you can be here. And if you're very comfortable, even though it might be a bit claustrophobic, I'm going to start to take the heels up in line with the knees. And then I just change where the weight is. I can breathe into the back with softness, with ease, even in this, bit of a tight place. If you can soften your glutes, do that. Feel free to also take your hands, maybe massage anything here that isn't readily accessible normally. Even as you're breathing, you don't have to do that. And then the last place I'm going to go is just to let the feet kind of fall towards the head. They're not going to go anywhere near the head. They might, I don't know, maybe yours do, but just changing this extension here, and you could even put your hands on your belly and allow the thighs to drop. So we're just letting that extra bit of pressure, bit of weight just ground us. And just breathing as if you were just sitting in your Sukhasana, you're cross-legged. The very, very beginning of your practice, just feeling your breath, receiving it, softening anywhere you can. Yeah, I'm going to take one more breath in this shape. Let the shoulders drop, jaw drop. And I'll move the feet back over the knees. So it's not a big movement, but it does change where I feel pressure in the belly and the back. And I'm just dropping, melting into that. And then I'll just drop the feet towards the hips. One more full breath. Okay, and then I'm going to sneak my hands out. I have them on the tummy. So I can lower the feet down and see if I can get them to touch at the exact same time. Whether you're using toes or heels. Let's see, one touches first, pick them up. See if you can get them to touch at the exact same time. Lower them down, and once you're down, just walk your feet nice and wide apart, maybe even as wide as your mat. And we'll come back to this windshield wiper. So you go slow as you're on this blanket. Feel your breath. Yeah, I'm getting some back cracks in my lower back. And there's your chiropractic adjustment if you're getting that. That's awesome. Good. And then we'll bring the feet to rest. I'm just going to drop the knees together into basic resting pose. As I do that, it does change a little bit of, the position. My tail's starting to drop down towards the floor. You can readjust your blanket or just be with whatever is happening. Feel your breath. Release. One more breath in. Breathe out. And then anchor your feet. Separate the knees. Lift the hips. Take this little blanket roll out. Set it over to the side. Whoops. Drop into just receiving how grounded you feel. You can stretch your legs out or bring the knees back together. Good. Okay, I'm going to come to sit up. I'm going to bring the knees in and rock and roll. And I'll do that rock and roll, a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times. If that works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. Honor your body. And then come up to sitting whenever you get here. Right? Isn't that fun? I don't know if you think back to your 20s. How often did you do that when you were 20? Probably not so often, unless you were taking yoga. And so here you are at whatever age you're at. Yay. Okay, I'm re-rolling. We're going to take this blanket roll now, length of the spine. And I'm pretty sure everybody here has done this. So I keep my hips on the floor. I might even bring that little head blanket out just in case I need it. Lie back over, and then I can reach my arms over. There's a little bit of an end here. I can just tuck it under and create this really nice little hammock for my head. Just lift your hips, adjust how you need to. You should feel a little bit uneven. And once you're on it, then I'm just going to keep the feet on the floor, but just rock the knees gently side to side. And hopefully that doesn't give you motion sickness, because you are going to drop over to one side of the blanket roll and the other. So slow it down if you need to, and feel yourself just rocking like you're in a hammock, or, I want to say like riding the waves, the gentle waves of water, but if that doesn't work for you, then go back to the hammock. Yeah. Okay. And then after maybe one more on each side, I'll just lift the hips here just to drop back down onto the blanket. So my hips are lifted, and then I'm just going to bring them down nice and slow. Feel the blanket roll along the length of the spine. Maybe the knees come together and you rest here, or whatever you need. Arms can open out to the sides. Melt anywhere you can. And as I take the arms out, the shoulder blades kind of maybe feel a little bit uncomfortable on the sides there of the blanket, but I'm just going to release into that discomfort. Look for santosha, look for contentment. And just feel your breath descending, rising. Smile, soften your eyes, like be in your shavasana form here. So you're just really allowing the blanket roll to melt you. You notice any tension in your forehead. Just feel like you just slide away. Notice if you're clenching in your pelvic floor at all, your glutes. And start to consciously release that if you can. Take one more full breath. Breathe out. Now I'm going to lift the arms up again. I know it's a little bit wobbly, so my feet are wide apart, knees together. That's going to help a little bit. And now just lift your arms up, palms face each other, reach up with your straight arms, and then draw the straight arms down so the shoulders come down. And just do that a few times. As you reach up, they open. As you bring them down, you maybe feel them squeezing against the blanket. Okay, so keep this little flossing, and now just take your arms and bring them down maybe 30 degrees. So they're not down by your sides, they're not straight up in the air. And then do this again. You just change, the mobility that we have here with the shoulders to kind of, I call it flossing. Good. And then take your arms back up to the ceiling and 30 degrees away from that. And do this again. And just feel this different place here that you can get into. Floss. And if you don't have a wall right here, you can take the arms over your head a little more. I'm going to just press into the wall and away. So my arms are now a little more over my head, and I'm just doing the same little action. Flossing. Good. Okay, do one more. Extend, draw in, and then reach the arms straight up to the sky like you're just going through a clock. We're going to bring them all the way down, right down by your sides. You can turn the palms down. Maybe you touch the earth or you just hover. Do a little bit of flossing. Same thing. Just draw the shoulders up to your ears like, I don't know. And then take them away. Oh, yeah, I know. Good. And do that a few times. Good. All right. And then drop in. Just do nothing. Rest. Okay, so from here, separate your knees if the legs are still bent. Okay, I'm going to anchor the forearms into the floor. So have the forearms on the floor, elbows bent, palms facing each other, like we set up for a little bridge. So the whole upper arm is on the floor. The forearms are bent, the palms are facing each other. Okay, I'm going to tuck my little chin in, press the shoulders towards the floor. Anchor the upper arms back of the head, press the feet, and start to lift your hips up and move into a little bridge here. So you're just lifting, you tuck your chin a little more, push the feet away. And then as you exhale, lower down from top to bottom, so you're pulling the tailbone up. And then as you come down, the tailbone's going to come down because we have this blanket lift. And then inhale. Pause, consciously connect, root into the earth, everything touching. Exhale, lift your hips, come back to this little bridge. You're going to push the feet down and away, tuck the chin. Exhale, lower, all the way down. Tailbone, last thing to come down. And we'll just do one more. So stay in this shape, inhale. Hold the breath, anchor upper arms, shoulders, back of head, feet. Exhale and lift. So keep breathing. And then lower yourself all the way down. Good. Pause. Good. Okay, last lift. This time I'm just going to go about 50%. So anchor. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips. So maybe they're in line with the blanket, however it is here. And then come to this, hula, just rocking your hips side to side. So as we do this, get a little bit of pressure, maybe the upper back, mid-back area into the blanket. And just rocking your hips, swaying. Good. And then I'm going to shift the hips over to the left as I drop them down and then roll off the blanket as you roll to the right side. And just pause here like we were waking from Shavasana. Take a breath or two. Good. Okay, now reach behind you, grab your little sausage roll, take it out. You can even rest it on your tummy as we roll back onto our backs. And just feel, so if you need a support for under your head, add it, and then just be here. Feel how grounded you are in the back, the shoulders, even the head. Maybe we release some tension. Okay, now I have this blanket roll resting on my belly and on my hips. I'm gonna bring the knees in, reach the hands up, grab the knees, and just draw them in and out. And depending on how this is, you can always unroll your blanket, make it less. So we're just inviting some pressure into the belly and releasing. Okay, so I'm going to bring these knees in. I'm going to hug them in. Feel that pressure between thighs and belly. Soften your jaw, your shoulders, and tuck your chin. We'll just take 3 breaths here. So my hands are pulling, the shoulders, I'm trying to drop them. Keep the pressure out of the jaw. So I smile to do that. Soften your glutes if you can. Okay, and then we'll release the feet to the floor. I'm going to stretch my arms over my head, extend the legs out. Let the arms just be restful so they can bend. They don't have to go right over your head. And just drop into your breath. Good. Take one more breath just as you are. Breathe out. Good. Okay. So I'm going to bring the knees in so I can keep my arms over my head and bring them down. I'm going to try and do it at the exact same time. I'll just point the toes up to the air, kind of feel everything there. Draw the belly in, bring your legs in. Good. Take that blanket roll, and now just bring it on top of your shins. You can rest your hands on the blanket and just draw in and out, or if you want to grab the sides like we do with the strap and just hold on. Good. And just bring it in and out. Good. Okay. Then we're just going to be in stillness here. Take your blanket roll. Now I can fold mine in half quite easily. And then I'm just going to bring it between the knees. So if that works, great. If it doesn't, whatever you need to do. Blanket between your knees. And then find that place where you're sitting in a chair. So knees over the hips, ankles in line with knees. I'm going to squeeze that blanket with my knees, draw the belly in, and then take my arms out like I'm doing Shavasana from the waist up. Squeeze the blanket, flex your feet. Breathe, squeeze, soften, breathe, squeeze, soften, breathe, squeeze, soften. And now we're going to drop these knees halfway to the right. You might turn your palms down. Keep squeezing. And then come up and take them halfway to the left. Squeeze, breathe, smile. Okay, and we're just going to keep going side to side. So you're not touching the floor. You're squeezing, you're breathing, you're softening, your feet are flexed, your hands are supporting you. So palms down, arms can be a little bit away from the body. Maybe a lot away. Good. Okay, well, here we go. We get to drop the legs all the way over to the right. You have this blanket roll here. So that should be nice. If you want to take it out, put it underneath the right knee, that's totally fine. And adjust it. I'm just going to keep mine as it is. Good. And then turn your head to the left. And just bring in your breath. So we did a little bit of abdominal there. Now we just want to feed, rest, receive. Good. Okay, so I'm going to deepen the twist by just bending the right forearm. So the upper arm's on the floor. I'm going to really plant that elbow down, lift the right shoulder, right side of the chest, and turn it more to the left. And then re-extend the arm, or you can rest that right hand on your belly, on your heart if you like. Drop into your breath. You're going to take your left hand, put the thumb into that left hip crease, and the fingers are just going to wrap around the outside of that left hip and just press it away from you. So you can keep the fingers there. Mine are going to lift as I push the thumb. Open that hip a little bit. Take one more breath. And then you can keep the hand there if you love it, or reach the arm back out and just take 3 breaths here. Do nothing. Okay, so bring your head to center. You might turn your palms down. Feel yourself squeezing the blanket if it's between your knees still. And then inhale and bring it up. Okay, if you need to adjust, come back. And just come back to that side to side where you're not touching the floor. You're just rocking, you're squeezing the blanket, your feet are flexed. Draw your abdominals in. Support yourself as you twist here. Okay, let's do one more on each side, and then we'll release over to the left side. Good. And then just turning your head, adjusting that blanket between your knees, or taking it out if it's better to put it underneath the left knee for you. And then just be here, allow the twist to unfold. Feel your breath. Massages, opens. And then I'm just going to go deeper. So bend the left elbow, anchor elbow, upper arm, press down, lift left shoulder, left side of chest. You spin your ribs a little more to the right and come back. And breathe. Just as you did at the very beginning. Just receiving your breath, feeling your breath, enjoying your breath. And I'm going to take right thumb into right hip crease and just press that away, opening that little area where you can probably feel it. It doesn't often get opened. And then you can keep your thumb there if you like that, or you can re-extend your arm. And we drop in as much as we can for our final few moments here. And then bringing your hands to face the floor, palms to the floor, anchor, draw the belly in, squeeze the knees, and bring your head up, knees up. Come back to this, twisting action. Just bringing the knees over. They might go like just hover above the floor. You might go that far and then bring them over to the opposite side. And let's do one more on each side. Okay, come to your center. Let's take the blanket roll out. You can just lay it on your belly again. Place the feet to the floor. Maybe see if they can touch at the exact same time. Widen your feet apart. And this time, without bringing the knees to touch, open the knees out to the side. So it's not really Baddha Konasana because the feet are really wide. Anchoring my feet, just allowing the knees to open. You know, whatever this is for you, feel free to make adjustments till you find that place of comfort in discomfort. Feel your breath. Okay, from here I'm going to move to a happy baby. I'm going to keep this blanket on my tummy. You can take it out if you need to. Bring the knees in, knees nice and wide, just as wide as they were. Hug them in. Assess for yourself, blanket roll good, everything good. Feel your back on the floor. And then we'll take the arms to the inside of the knees, grab hold of the baby toe edge of the feet. And if this is doable, then you can rock a little bit, smile, be here. You can even move your feet, you know, the heels can move in and open out. So you're just opening your legs, just experience what this is. You know, if it's too much, you can hold the backs of the thighs. Modify for yourself to make this work. You know, maybe take the blanket out if it's too much. Being here. Nice, easy breath, smile, like you're doing Shavasana from the neck up. Good. Okay, so from here, I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together and interlace your fingers just on the baby toe edge of the feet. And again, maybe this is okay, maybe it's not okay. Again, modify. And then just feel free to move your feet here so they can go down to your hips. Maybe they come up over your head, you know, you play. Breathe. Okay. And the next time my feet come up, I'm going to pull them down. And I might even lift my head up, see if I can touch the feet to the head, but, you know, no awards, no prizes. Soften your glutes. And then release, come back to your happy baby. Soften all the way down, breathe. And then release. Feet are going to come down, so you can hold the knees if you need to, or just let your feet touch the earth, maybe at the exact same time. And if not, hold them up, try it again. And then do nothing, so you can walk the feet apart, let the knees drop, stretch your legs out, whatever you need. Let's take a few moments here to release. Good. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take this blanket, sausage, and lay it over to the right side of me. I have a sleeping dog here, so I'm going to move myself up. But you're going to have that blanket roll starting maybe at the top of your hip, and you'll adjust it. So we're going to go to Alexander twist. That's where we're going to extend the right leg long, bring the left knee into the chest. So, and we are eventually going to roll to the right side. Okay, I tell you that because if that blanket roll isn't high enough to support you here, then you know you have your blocks, you have your bolster, you can pull all of that in. Well, we'll just start here with the right leg extended. I'm just going to use the blanket roll, and I'm going to bring the left knee into the chest, and we're just going to find Shavasana from the heart space up as you bring this knee in. So you're going to draw that knee in. You know, I said this in the other class. If your belly's in the way, just take that knee out to the left and then bring it back in. Breathe. Okay, add extension through the right leg, through the right heel, through the left heel. And as you do that, you know, you push the heels out, but I'm going to split the legs through the thighs. So the right thigh is pressing away, the left thigh is coming into the belly. Soften from the heart space up. Breathe. Notice your head if you need to support it. Do that. One more breath. Okay, and then the right hand holds the outer shin or outer knee, left arm out to the side. And then take this left side all the way over. Roll yourself onto the right side. Okay, prop up. You can even move your right hip more to the left, so you're more on the side if you need it. Okay, now we're here, and I know that it's a choice. It's either knee supported or shoulder supported. If you're okay to let your shoulder hang, your left shoulder hang, great. If that's no good for you, then grab your props, another blanket, prop it up. You can roll your little sausage over if you need more height underneath the knee. Take the time to just really feel what you need here. My right hand is going to rest on top of this right knee. Oh, sorry, this is my left knee. Just breathe. You lift your head up and turn it a little bit more to the left, if that's there. Okay, it takes a few breaths for the body to settle. But, if that isn't working for you and you need more props, do that. Honor your practice. Become your best teacher. And I'm going to take the left thumb into that left hip crease and just press it away for a few moments. Just find some space. The same time as I'm pushing it away, I'm using the right hand to just anchor the knee. And you can release the left arm back out. Maybe you want to take the left arm over your head. You decide. If that feels nice, great. If it's better out to the side, that's fine too. The work is happening. Breathe in your body. Okay, I'm going to go one more bus stop, and this is totally optional. Now the right leg's on the floor. I'm going to bend the right foot over towards my left hand, even if the left hand might be over your head, but you can imagine, take that foot over. Then I take my left hand, I grab hold of the top of the foot. If that is able in your body to happen, great. The advantage, what happens here is I'm holding the top of the foot. My thumb is next to the index finger, and I push the foot into the hand. That's going to give me space to open that left shoulder a little more. It's all fine. We're here for another few breaths. So I'm anchoring, I'm pushing the foot into the hand, and the right hand is really holding this left knee, left outer thigh. Okay. And then release. So very slowly, you're going to make your way back onto your back. So you can even put that left foot on the floor first and then find your way. You might bend both knees as you lift your hips and bring your back into center. And then here we are. I want you to feel the effects of that twist. So you might just rest with the basic resting pose, knees together, feet wide, or stretch your legs out and feel your repose. Really feel that, receive it. Okay, before I go to the second side, I'm just going to take windshield wiper a little bit, and now I have nothing underneath me. I can go a little bit more fully into this windshield wiper. So walk your feet wide, just drop the knees one side, the other. And feel all of this, what is offered to you. I get questions a lot about, what do I do if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can't sleep? This is so, doesn't that disturb you too much? Very healing, feel everything that's moving. All right, now I'm going to set up for the second side. So I'll just take this blanket roll over. If you used any other props, move them, whatever you need. Just And then once you are set, we'll extend the left leg, bring the right knee in, opposite interlace, be here for a few. So adjust, automatically I lift my head, tuck the chin, place it down. I'm gonna get rid of the belly a little bit, bring that right thigh in as much as I can. And then find Shavasana from the throat up. Breathe. Okay, now we add the feet a little bit. So I press out through the heels and then extend through the thighs. So the left thigh is pressing away from me into that heel, and the right thigh is drawing up towards the knee. So I can maybe split the legs a little more. If that doesn't make sense, you don't need to worry about it. Breathe. Okay, and then we go for twist. So left hand holds right knee, right arm out to the side, and take it all the way over. And then here's where we come into that place. We want to support the knee, support the shin, and support the shoulder if it needs it. And it can also hang if you're okay with that. So find your props as you need them. Take the time. And you might add that bending of the left elbow, left forearm, lifting, twisting. You create the space, create the shape. And then find Shavasana from the heart space up. Maybe from the heart space down too. Maybe you can just really let go here. So again, we allow the first few breaths to let the pose unfurl. And then I'll take the right thumb into the hip crease and just open that. You can also massage. I didn't say it on the other side, but now that the body becomes accessible when we take these shapes, so different parts that are here. So you might do that. You might just press that hip away. Breathe. And then you can release the right arm back out, or if you want to take it over your head. And breathe. And let go where you can. So we tend to clench the glutes maybe a little bit just to protect ourselves. So if you can drop that or identify with it, feel it. And then staying in this shape, or maybe bending the left leg, taking the right hand, seeing can you grab hold of that foot. Okay, but not at the expense of the front of the thigh. Like if this is too much, then you can even just imagine you're holding your foot. But if you do have the foot, take the thumb to rest next to the index finger, and then you anchor, push the foot into the hand, and that's gonna open the shoulder more. And then I'll rest the left hand on top of this right knee and anchor. Breathe, be, receive, feel. Whatever shape you're in, you're doing awesome work. Even if you feel like I'm just resting here and breathing, so much is happening. Good. Okay, and then we'll release all of that, and you'll just find your way back onto your back. So maybe the right foot comes down first, and then bend the left foot, readjust, you lift your hips. And we'll come back to either stillness, if that's where you want to be right now, or windshield wiper. Walk your feet nice and wide apart. You might rest your hands on your belly section, and then they just kind of slide as the knees move. Honor yourself. Love your tummy. We spent all these years, I have to lose 5 pounds. No, Keep those 5 pounds. Love them. It's a blessing. Good. Means you ate good, nourished yourself well, enjoyed. Good. Okay. That's good. And bring yourself to your center. Good. Okay. So I'm going to just grab a block and I'm going to lift the hips and just rest the sacrum on the block like we do. If you don't have a block, feel free to use your blanket roll again, but I want the sturdiness of the block. So I'll just lift the hips, place the block under your sacrum, any height, my friends, just to get that lift. And this is your upside down. So we want the hips, the heart higher than the head. Your hands can still rest on your belly or maybe take them out to the side. And just be here. So I'm just going to stay in this shape and just allow the back to kind of drop. Feel my breath. Right? You can adjust the height of your block. If it's too high or too low. And it's going to be here for another 3-5 breaths. Okay. So from here, I know we like to play on the blocks, that's fun. If you want to do a little play, you can take your hands to the blocks and maybe you bring one knee in, extend one leg up to the sky. And then you can be like this, breathe, or you can extend the left leg, maybe the heel to the floor, or the leg could lift, and you find, that place where you can be here. I feel like I want to take this extended leg over to the opposite side, and the leg that's on the floor, just reach it over as if you're crossing the legs, but they're still steady on your block. And then you can switch, find the opposite side, breathe, and then I'll just sweep the legs as if they want to cross a little bit over to the opposite sides. Okay, if you want to bring both legs up, you can. You can open the legs out wide to the sides. And breathe. You can also just set your feet on the floor and breathe. And then our next pose from here is Shavasana. So if you want more time on your block, you take that. Otherwise, you can come off the block. Maybe take a few moments when you rest the block on your belly for a moment and just feel yourself nice and grounded. Okay. And then, so I'm just going to roll over to one side, pause for a breath or two, and it'll just pop up. At least one breath, and then set yourself up for Shavasana, however you like to do it. Oh, man. As soon as I come up, I just, like there's no pill for that. Whatever you need. So I'm going to take legs up the wall. And, if you want to do that, you're welcome to. If you want to just set yourself up for rest, and, great honoring, because how often do we do this unless we're here? Even when I think about my aerobics days, my favorite part of aerobics was when they used to turn the lights off and, okay, we're going to stretch now. All yoga calling. Okay, I have an eye pillow. And I'm also going to wrap my legs up. So if you're coming into legs up the wall, then you might want to do that too. But whatever you choose. Make it comfortable and nourishing that you're here. Okay, just wrapping the legs so they stay together. Okay, notice any place that might need a little more love. Okay, just say this, here in Calgary, we're going through Chinook, and so there's a lot of pressure. And if you feel that in your head, just as I came to lie down, I'm like, oh, I think I just need a block underneath my head. So just tuck that in. It's on the baby height. I get a really nice slope from the forehead to the chin. And we'll just soften into that. So if you're experiencing anything, it's a nice place to be. And honoring this rest time as you drop in. Just receiving this grounding, supportive posture. You're melting yourself more deeply, releasing your breath more fully. Just connecting, yoking together all parts of yourself here in your rest. Softening your mind, grounding your body, freeing your breath, and soothing your spirit. Choosing to stay as you are for longer if you're able. And if you're ready to start to come out, just very consciously, slowly journey your way out of your rest and to your fetal position, but just go slow. There's so many places to explore along this way. So different than when you get out of bed in the morning. Resting in the fetal position for a breath or two here. Making your way to seated. Just coming to rest whenever you get here. And savoring, feeling, being here. Just bowing your chin, and you can even bring your hands together at your heart just as we started to just welcome yourself anew, refreshed. Feel into your back, and you might even be able to lean back into your seat a little bit. Just receiving all that grounding energy, this real release of the back body, bringing awareness into your back body. And feel at this moment here all the work you've done in this hour to be grounded, to be calm, to be present. And this opening of your breath, of receiving the back, opening to the back. This healing work, bowing your chin to all that you've done, your presence here on your mat, the efforts you made. It's not to be taken lightly. It's to be received with love and its fullness of potentiality. So smile into all that you've done, all that you've created and recreated. As you inhale, anchor your sit bones, lengthen yourself, feel the crown of the head extend up to the sky. And exhale your breath. And we'll join together in our May We Be Blessed mantra. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. We'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. Bow your chin. Om Shanti, Om Peace. Bless yourself. I bless myself. Take a full breath in. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Bless it. And then lift your chin, open your eyes. Mwah. Namaste, my friends. Namaste. Great honoring and glory. And right. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this time and this space with me. Have a beautiful rest of your day.